This is a help video for Project 402. It is not the exact project that you will be doing for 402, but it is very similar. The questions are almost the same. The intent of this help video is for you to understand what the questions are asking and use your knowledge to help you complete your own project 402. For this project, we need to gather our data of the length of the arm span in inches and the height in inches for 5 subjects. You will do something very similar. You will measure the length of the forearm and the length of the foot for 5 subjects. Once you have your data, just like I did, you will complete a table with all of your data. Once you have your table complete, the next part is to find the rate of change for 2 of your subjects. Remember that to find the rate of change, you need 2 ordered pairs. I will be using the first 2 rows from our table. First, we need to subtract the y values, 62 minus 51. Next, I will subtract the x values, 64 minus 49. Now, please note that you can subtract A minus B or B minus A. Either way will be fine as long as you are consistent and you go in the same direction for the x and the y. Once you have your differences for the y values and the x values, your last step is to divide the difference in the y by the difference in the x. For my 2 subjects, the difference in the y's is 11, the difference in the x's is 15. So my rate of change is 11 over 15. Now for this project, I'm going to go one step further and I'm going to simplify my fraction to a decimal. I'm going to divide 11 divided by 15 to get 73 hundredths. Now, looking at the rate of change that I found, I want to summarize this data. I see that the rate of change is positive. I know that a positive rate of change means that both my x and my y are moving in the same direction. A negative rate of change would tell me that they're moving in opposite directions. So I know that the arm span and the height are both increasing. Now, the height changed 11 while the arm spanned 15. So I can see that the height is changing a bit slower than the arm span. Just as a reminder, we were taught in lesson 401 that the equation y equals mx plus b has very specific values for each of these letters. The letter y is our output. The letter x is our input. The letter m, which we want to pay special close attention to for this project, is our rate of change. The coefficient of x, the number in front of the x, is the rate of change. And the letter b represents our initial value. For part 3, we're given some initial information. A student found the relationship between the arm span and height working on his science fair project was y equals 90/100ths x plus 2, where x is the arm span in inches and y is the height in inches. The student had data for 100 subjects of different ages, ethnic background, and gender. Now, using that given information with the equation y equals 90/100ths x plus 2, what would be the height of a person with an arm span of 50 inches? Well, we were told that the arm span is x, the input. So in this equation, I will replace the letter x with 50. So using my calculator, I multiply 0.91 times 50, and I get 45.5. And then I must add 2 for my final answer of 47.5 inches. This is telling me that a person with an arm span of 50 inches would have a height of 47.5 inches. Now, for part B, we have a few other questions. Is the rate of change you found greater or less than the rate of change found in the science fair project? Now, please note, you need to use specific numbers in your answers. An answer, yes, it's bigger, is not sufficient. Remembering that the equation y equals mx plus b, the m is the rate of change. When I compare that with the formula given in the science fair project, I can see that the letter m, the coefficient of x, has the value of 0.91. The letter m and 0.91 are in the same position in these equations. Therefore, m is 91 hundredths in our equation. The rate of change from my table for the first two subjects is 73 hundredths. So I can see that my rate of change is less than the given rate of change, because 73 hundredths is less than 91 hundredths. What are some possible reasons to explain why my rate of change is different than the one found in the science fair project? Well, you can answer with as many possible answers as you can think, or maybe a little research. Asking a parent or a friend what they think too may help. The science fair project used a greater variety of subjects, so the differences in ethnic background and gender played a strong role. Nutrition, exercise, health, gender, genetics, growth spurts are just a few of the factors that could influence the difference in arm span and height. For part C, we need to remember the definition of a function. A function is a relationship between two variables in which for every input, there is only one possible output value. Remember that my arm span is the input and my height is the output. In looking at my table of values, I see that I have an arm span of 49 paired with a height of 51. A few rows down, I have another arm span of 49, but this time the same input is paired with a different output, 46. Therefore, knowing the definition says every input can only be paired with one possible output, this table is not a function because the input 49 has different outputs, 51 and 46. Also, looking at the equation given in the science fair project, y equals 91 hundredths x plus 2. This is a function because every x would be paired with exactly one output. Thank you for watching.